time of year that we can really enjoy our house plants, but sometimes they don't look so great, and we don't know what we should do. So don't be afraid to repot a house plant. A lot of us have been taught that you can only do it in the spring. That's not true. When they get to this point, they're really going to go downhill. So you need to repot it. As you can see, this one, once you take it out of the pot, it's got some pretty bad soil. It's too dry. It's too big for this amount of soil. So we're going to get rid of some of this old soil, which is pretty easy, and we're going to get a nice fresh home with good quality potting soil. And then, look at your plants. You might even have to repot. Sometimes you're just going to look underneath and see that there's a lot of brown, and you could use a pair of scissors, or you could kind of just peel some of those brown leaves away. And once we put the new soil in here, this guy is going to feel so much better. He's going to perk up. We're going to water him well, and I'll finish that later, but you get the idea. We don't need to wait till spring to take care of somebody that's crying like that. And then this is a gorgeous pot, and I would recommend reusing it, but always wash it, use Clorox, get it disinfected, so that the next plant that goes in there is going to be happy. So really, just as you're watering your houseplants, look at them and say, what could I do to make you a little happier and healthier? Broken stems. You need to deadhead in the winter if you've got flowering plants, just like you deadhead in the summer. Believe it or not, once in a while you have to weed. But we definitely want to get all the brown out of here and all the dead blossoms, because a plant can't blossom if it's holding, it can't blossom as much if it's holding on to a lot of dead old blossoms. And then I'd want to straighten this up. As far as the pot, you can see the potting soil is good. It's not root bound too much. It's pretty happy, so we just leave this alone. So we're just doing a little cleaning. January is a great time to do that because we're all pretty much inside a lot of the time. This sweet little fern probably got a little too dry, maybe a little too much dry air. So, again, you can just pinch that off. It might be happier if we potted it up one. It might be easier to take care of too, because ferns need good moisture, and if it's in a little pot, I think fern in a plastic pot's kind of nice because the plastic does hold the moisture in. And then we had a very, very large plant here, aloe. And aloe is a great indoor plant. It's got a couple uses. It will take care of burns, take the sting out, and it also cleans our air. So we'd want to put this plant, actually we could do one nice big pot, and we could take these babies and you could put them in another pot, maybe give them to a friend. This is brown because of uneven watering, so I could just pull that right off of there. Get rid of any of the old ugly stuff, and you'll enjoy these plants a lot more and feel like spending time with them. Then we have a pretty common Dracaena here. It obviously would be happier in a bigger pot. We shouldn't leave anything looking like that. I would have put it in clay because it does like to be dry, so plastic isn't the best for this. I'm going to pull off some of these older ones, and I'm going to pull them off evenly, and it looks like a topiary now. And then I'm going to put it in this nice pot with new soil, and I'm going to make sure I don't overwater it. So those are just a few basics. Go to your different plants. If you've got African violets, lots of times they're bulging. You can divide those. You can take the older, bigger leaves off so that your African violet will bloom. You could start those easily so that you have some babies coming. Just take that leaf and put it in some good potting soil. So I would recommend just going to each plant, doing kind of an inventory of its needs and addressing those, and you'll enjoy them so much more.